everyone over in West Sussex. It's great to be joining you virtually from here in Cape Town. You can see behind me that I've got a fire going because today has been a freezing cold day, even though we've just begun our spring day, as you probably have begun your autumn day. But it's great to be a part of your weekend away, even if it's from afar. I'm really sad not to be there, like I know some of your missionaries are. Some of you might not know me, so just to let you know some of the connections there. There are quite a few, as it turns out, but the biggest connection is my mum and dad that are at Washington, and they're coming through on Saturday, so I'm sure you'll see them. But also interesting connections here in Cape Town, because your churches have got a close connection with Christchurch Kenilworth, which is my church, where David and Rosemary Pryor, who some of you will know, used to be here, I think back in the 80s, as pastor and serving in the church, and there are lots of memories from that and people here that know them. And then also Jono, who's currently with you, from kind of the older generation to the younger. And we're hugely missing him and his worship skills, where he blessed us so much in our services here in Christchurch. But I know that he's blessing you richly and loving his time there. So that gives you a little bit of the connection of me to you. And as far as what I'm doing here in Cape Town, I'm actually serving with a mission organisation called SIM, Serving in Mission. And my role, although based in Cape Town, is an international one, working globally to help us think through how we're engaging the university and what that can look like, whether it's in student ministry, whether it's in strategically placing lecturers in countries that are difficult for us to get into otherwise, whether it's in sending students to learn a language in a country that it would be great to be able to place them, for them to build relationships in the dormitories there, or whether it's reaching out to the huge amount of international students that are descending on our countries all around the world. Or in ways of, there are just so many multiple ways, but it could be in setting up a cafe. We do that quite a bit in Latin America, where we've got cafes that are hangout places for students to just come and chill, and through that build relationships with them. Or it could be teaching English as a second language. So lots of different ways. And in fact, next month I'm off to Asia, and so I'd love your prayers for that as I think through with Thailand and with one or two other countries that I won't mention on camera, to think through with them what their strategy could be in engaging the university. More locally, I'm involved with Christchurch Kenilworth in my neighbourhood in reaching out to young ladies who are involved in prostitution, and that's more kind of with the local churches within the area. So that gives you a little bit of a flavour of what I do. I was asked to share with you my most rewarding thing in what I've been doing, and I think there are so many, but I think some of the key ones are the personal ones in terms of individual conversations that I've had with students who have just been challenged by God's word and by mission, and thinking through how do they live out their missional lives in the context of the university, which is so different across the world. So that would be one aspect. I love engaging with them. Another aspect more recently was spending some time in training and equipping students and student workers in Mexico in reaching out to international students on their campus, and they haven't ever done that before, and so it was a real pioneering opportunity. And then other rewarding times are times that I'm going to be having next month, as I mentioned earlier, in Asia, of just helping countries think through for the first time what it would look like for them to partner what's already going on in their country, in the university, and what new things they could develop. our focus is to be going to the least reached communities wherever we are in SIM. And so obviously in the universities, it's been a challenge to think through who are the least reached communities. And I think for me, having spent 20 years in student ministry, it's both challenged me and excited me to think of outside the box in many senses, in terms of what does it mean for us to go to the least reached communities within the university context. So that's something I've been thinking through quite a bit this last year. With the local ministry that I've been doing through the church, I know I mentioned when I was with you guys last year in reaching out to the ladies on the street. That is a constant challenge and really has got me thinking quite a bit on what does it mean for us as God's people to be engaging with the poverty that we see around us, wherever we are, whatever context we're in, and how do we bring transformation and development in the life of very broken people. A few prayer points for you, particularly in the end of the year, as it is for us here in South Africa. One would be that I'm absolutely exhausted at the moment, and so I just love your prayers for energy and strength to keep on going for the next 2.5 months before our summer break. Then it'd be great for you to pray for my trip to Asia next month. I'm really excited about it. It's pioneering into 4 new countries. And so there are great opportunities, 2 in particular where SIM have not really got any work going there at all, and the universities is going to be our first work that we're doing there. So please be praying for that. And then pray for me to have some time of spiritual refreshment and just time at the end of the year to reflect on what God has been doing this past year in and through the university work globally, and to think through for next year what are going to be my priorities and what must I focus on. And it'd be great too if you could pray specifically for 2, 3 or maybe even 4 people who could just come and be a part of a team with me as we globally reach out, because I'm juggling a lot of balls at the moment, and it'd be great to be able to delegate some of those balls to different people. As far as the ladies are concerned, please just pray particularly for follow-up of 2 ladies that we're following up at the moment. And there are a number of different challenges there. For one in particular, as she has a job in the workplace, but having never had a job before, it's just facing the challenges of what it is to have a proper job and to hold that down. And then you can pray for one girl who is on the street at the moment, desperately ill, and we're really trying to help her, but she's in an in-between place of not knowing whether she wants to help. Outside of ministry, Cape Town is a fantastic place with all the sport that goes on, and being a sporty person myself, I love to go trail running on Table Mountain, which as I talk to you now, I can see just outside of my window. And I love cycling and have taken part in a number of cycle races around the Cape. And here are a few photos for you to see that.